when me and you do this show that we're doing together, there's a point in time where I just pretty much forget the fact that we're on camera. And that can be dangerous because I always have to be cognizant of where we're broadcasting, right? But it's really funny to me how what happens is you kind of forget that you're on camera, and it's like we're just having a conversation between brothers. But that's a tool that has been effectively and usefully deployed by a very, 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 very dark world of people who are surveilling us, that are using that data in essence against us and against our republic. We're seeing that. It's happening. And by the way, this should not be a surprise to anybody because it has biblical ramifications, right? This will be the tool of the final Antichrist.
I've got a son that is in the line of business that he attends these conferences, and they talk about technology for different law enforcement agencies and things like that. They have a drone now that can pop up at the department level. It's not an expensive drone. They pop them up and they can literally read your screen on your telephone, on your mobile device from a mile away. And that's with just a little drone that they pop up, and get probably, I don't know how many thousand feet up, but from a mile away, they can zoom in and actually read your text on a phone, a mobile device from a mile away. Think about that.
And by the way, the vehicle that they sit that on, this will make you really scary. The vehicle that they set that camera on is made by a Chinese company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
DJI.
Yeah.
So if you really think about how scary that becomes.
When you start talking about AWACS and the B703, that's old technology. The things that we've got up today, for example, I mean, you can take a U2 at 60,000 feet and they can literally count the dimples on a golf ball from 60,000 feet.
I believe it. I totally believe that.
It's insane. Satellites can do that. So imagine you take satellite, even the Mil Intel balloons that are overhead at 60, 70, 80, 90,000 feet, up there at the edge of space, that are gathering and collecting everything. And it's not just things that you can see physically, but it's things that you can hear. I mean, that's the other piece too, is that they're listening to everything you do. I was one day I was talking to Miss Monkey, and I looked out of our house, and my neighbor was getting, like an exercise bike or something. And I mentioned the brand of that exercise bike. I was like, oh, hey, they're getting one of those. I literally 10 minutes later, I had those ads popping up on my phone, for that particular bike. So your device, whether you want it to or not, it's listening to everything you do. It's gathering everything you do. And we've given them that ability. Every time you take an app and you download it, you don't read the fine print and you go, yeah, I'll take TikTok. Let's do it. As soon as you go, yes, I accept it. Well, now all of a sudden you've just authorized every one of their illegal eagles to go in and basically look at everything that's on your phone. And they look across all of your apps. They look at all of your metadata. They look at all of that. That's why I think it's funny that Facebook actually started calling their stuff metaverse. That's because they're looking at your metadata, right? You can go back and look at the Obama birth certificate and go find out that thing was created. If you look at the metadata data on that document that is published out there on the Obama White House, that it was created by somebody at MIT, some student at MIT, basically pieced that whole thing together. And you find that when you look in the metadata, because it tells you exactly the name, who did it, everything. It's insane. So yeah, that's the world we live in. What's really nuts is that the platforms like TikTok, for example, when you open TikTok in China, it's all educational. It's stuff that is pro the communist country. It's all about learning and everything else. Here, it's all about dumbed down stuff like, let's watch these people dance. Let's watch these people make fools of themselves. And they push that to our phones. It's a completely different set of algorithms. And they're doing that intentionally to dumb us down as a society, because people are, you think about it, you get them engaged and all they do is look at their phone the entire time. They don't even look up anymore. It's pretty crazy.
I think the thing that just scares the living snot out of me when you stop for a moment to reflect upon the brevity of everything that we're looking at, right, is I don't even think it's as much as them wanting to make money off of advertisers. A lot of people think it's a monetization tool. I don't think it's that. I think it's them pushing the Overton window in a way that gets you accepting of being monitored, being surveilled, because everybody has become somewhat comfortable with being surveilled. And there's a sort of a psychological philosophy that goes with this, and it's like this: if you have a camera on you, right? This is the way you got to think about it. If you have a camera on you, when you first see the camera on you, you're initially going to be nervous. When the camera follows you for a while, you just forget that it's there. You're not like when me and you do this show that we're doing together. There's a point in time where I just pretty much forget the fact that we're on camera, and that can be dangerous because I always have to be cognizant of where we're broadcasting, right? But it's really funny to me how what happens is you kind of forget that you're on camera, and it's like we're just having a conversation between brothers. But that's a tool that has been effectively and usefully deployed by a very, 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 very dark world of people who are surveilling us, that are using that data in essence against us and against our republic. We're seeing that. It's happening. And by the way, this should not be a surprise to anybody because it has biblical ramifications, right?
Oh, yeah,
This will
no.
be the tool of the final Antichrist.